In this lesson, you will learn how to count from 20 up to 100. So let's start out by looking at the so-called round numbers, or runde Zahlen as we call them in German. And we do this because once you know these, it will be much easier to form all the other numbers in between. So let's start with 20. So 20 in German is 20. 20. And this is a bit of an exception because usually the round numbers are formed very regularly. So such as if we look at 40, for example, which is 40 in German, you can see I've marked the first part of the word, which is vier, and the last part of the word, which is zig. So you should know the numbers from 1 to 20 to understand this concept a lot faster. So vier means 4, and then you simply add zig at the end and you get 4t. Okay, so the zig is kind of like the t in English, 4t, 40. Okay, so this rule holds true for most of the round numbers, but there are some exceptions or slight alterations, as you can see, as I have highlighted in this slide. So the first one is that 20 is not 20 as you would expect. So it's 20, it's just a slight exception to this rule. Then the next exception would be 30, where it's not sick, but it's sick at the end. Okay, so it's a sharper S, not a Z sound. And then we have 60, which omits the S at the end of sechs. So it's not 60 because of pronunciation purposes. It just would sound strange. And then we have 70, which following the rule would be 70, but just keeping it short here. Germans like to be efficient. No, I don't know why, but it's simply 70. All right. So we have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And you can see ein is here, I put it in parentheses because you can say both 100 and 100. So also same as in English, you can say 100 or simply 100. Alright, so now that you have those round base numbers, we will look at how to form all the numbers in between those numbers. So it's actually quite simple if you know the numbers from 1 to 20, and if you know all the round numbers, it is very, very simple to form all those in between. So as you can see here, I've marked the small word in the middle, which means und in German. Und. Okay, so we have to understand that in German we form those numbers. For example, 22, we would say 2 and 20. Okay, 23, 3 and 20. 3 and 20, 4 and 25 and 20, and so on. So the only exception here is actually the 21 and the 31 and the 41 and so on, because we leave out the S at the end of eins. So usually you would say 21, right? 21, but also here for pronunciation purposes, well, we Germans decided to leave out the S at the end of eins, so we get 21. 21, right? So 1 and 20, 22, 2 and 20. Okay? So we have 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And just to show you that this really works for all the numbers in between, not just for the 20s, but also 30s, 40s, 50s, and so on, here are some more examples. 31, 42, 53, 64, 75, 86, 97. So as you can see, the rule works for all the numbers up to 100, right? So you have, for example, 97 is 97. 97. Okay, hope this helped you out. And if you would like to learn more German, please join me at executivegerman.com.